first of all, opinion polls in Spain show that about 60% of people are against freeing these 9 Catalan leaders. So why is Sanchez's government doing this?
Yes, indeed, there is about nearly 2/3 of the Spaniards who oppose the move, mainly on the ground of the fact that there was no sign of contrition at all from the jailed Catalonian leader. But we must admit that there is little room for maneuver for the Spanish government, but to move forward and try to bring back this conflict first on the negotiation table, but more generally to the political side of the things, and no longer to the judiciary one. And this has been judiciarized since the referendum in 2017, and the government considered that it is time to move back to politics, and that the precondition for that is this pardon, which does not cancel most of the sentence. Many of those leaders have spent several years in prison, including prior to their trial, but they consider that a precondition for the next move.
Yeah, but they also don't appear to think that this is enough. Many of the Catalan leaders today talking about an amnesty for thousands of other people who committed offences linked to that referendum in 2017. Is that amnesty at all likely to happen?
Actually, no, the amnesty is not likely to happen anytime soon. And actually, the path of Sanchez's government is very narrow, to be honest. But there is a bet here, a political bet made by Sanchez, which might succeed, actually. The bet is the following. The decision has been announced today, so on the eve of summer, and of a long-awaited vacation following the easing of the sanitary restriction in Spain as in all over Europe. And the idea of the government is that by September, the country as a whole will have moved forward to another situation, a situation in which that government will be able to spend the billion of euros of the Recovery EU plan, and where the situation of the Catalonian leader won't make the headline anymore. So that's the idea. The main contradiction opposed to that from the center right and from the far right in Spain is that the government will make that move because it relies upon the European Catalonian Republican Party, which is leading as well in Barcelona, to maintain his coalition, to maintain his majority, which is true. But it has been true for every single governing party nearly since the return to democracy in 1978, that the main parties are relying upon nationalists or even independentist regional parties to maintain the majority. So this contradiction, this critics, does not hold much because it has been the case also of the right. So I get that Sanchez knows what he's doing, but that there is a narrow path, and as you suggested, there will be voices on the independentist side to call for amnesty, to consider these pardons as clearly insufficient, to advert and express a complete lack of contrition or remorse for the dead end to which they have led the Catalonian project, back in 2017. So again, little margin for maneuver, but maybe a clever move and a smart timing.
Well, it does sound, as you say, that Pedro Sanchez is trying to put some of the more controversial issues of the last few years behind this government, and they're trying to move forward. But the Catalan leaders are still pushing for another independence referendum, aren't they? Just briefly tell us, are they likely to hold one again unilaterally if Sanchez's government does not give the green light for that?
I don't believe so. There is a very, very small risk that such an unilateral referendum will take place again. They have realized although they do not admit so, that they had led their decades-long project of autonomy, later independence, towards the dead end, that the Catalonian society is split in two, and that you cannot make any referendum happening in such condition, because independence, especially from a democratic state inside the European Union where there is multi-level governance, and in a country like Spain, which, although it does not claim to be federal, is more federalized than many federal states, including Germany, is very difficult to justify. I mean, you need a very strong majority for that they are unable to manage. Therefore, I don't believe there will be such move from the Catalonian leader. And that's again the bet of Pedro Sanchez. Some sort of return to old politics, to negotiation, to dialogue, and the calling for that to the spirit of the democratic transition back in 1978.
All right, Maxime Forest, thanks very much.